Check, check, check. Mic check. Perfect. Good morning, guys. Alright, my bad, guys. I just posted the link everywhere. Alright, I'm gonna go back and forth. Well, actually, I could do this on YouTube as well. Pop out this chat, take this away from my screen, and then put this one here. Perfect. The only thing is, I won't be able to see unless I do this. Alright, so let's start from the top to the bottom. So EuroCAD, we're still in a zone of consolidation. So right now I'm not going to be really interested in trading EuroCAD until we break that zone of consolidation. Also, I'm not expecting this to start going up yet, so we'll keep this one off for the day. Euro USD still just moving sideways. Right, yeah, even though we have this engulfing candle, once again, exactly what we talked about last night, right? We still don't have any break of the lows, no break of the highs, just still testing candles. So I'm not going to be taking this trade up until we get a confirmation as to where price really wants to go. So at this moment, Euro USD, we're just going to sideline. GCAD, we're still in a zone of consolidation once again. Price is still rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, going back down to the lows, rejecting highs again. This is just a testing candle. This is not a break of structure, and going back down to the lows. So GCAD is also one I'm just going to sideline for the day. GJ, we're still in the zone of consolidation, right? Rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, going back down to the middle, right? And we had these lows that we were looking at for the day, or these highs. Right, if price decide to break these highs, then perfect, right? We'll catch the continuations, then we'll know exactly what price wants to do for pretty much the rest of the week. So we'll be waiting on this for GJ. What do we want to do today? Let's check the 4 hour real quick. Do we have any engulfing candles in the 4 hour? We do not. Anything in the 1 hour? Nothing in the 1. In the 30 minute? Nothing in the 30. And we'll go down to the 15 on GJ. Nothing in the 15 minutes. So right now we have no engulfing candles either to kind of gauge on. So GJ will let this one move, and again, this will be a pair that once we get away from the zone of consolidation, then we'll know what we want to do. GU, right? We're in a small zone of consolidation as well for this one. We know that we're still rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, going back down to the middle, rejecting highs again, right, and going back down. Now, the difference between GU and the other pairs, real quick, is, right, GU, we know that we have an engulfing candle. Not only do we have one in the 30-minute time frame, but we also have one in the 15-minute time frame, right, at the low of the day. We also know that we have 2 days of rise. Could today be that third day push up until the 800 EMA? Absolutely. We could see something like this possibly happening for today, where we have push number 1, push number 2, push number 3, and we do something like this, right? So we'll also update the two things that we look at, which is STP, right, and the 4 hour candle. The 4 hour candle is bullish, and then STP for the day. You know that the ADR is 76 pips. STP is 50. So we could start gauging that TP number 1 is going to be at 50 pips. And that's exactly what we're looking for on the 800 EMA once again. So right now we're looking good for GU. We're going to keep this one on. We'll start looking for entries once price gets into the zone. US 30 is more of a NYC session pair, so I'm not going to be super interested in this one right now. What's good, Mohammed? Good morning, good morning. Got a 4 hour 21 candle. Price is still just moving sideways. So right now for US 30, we're just going to sideline this real quick. Look at the 4 hour and the 1 hour and stuff like that. See if we see an engulfing candle. Nothing in the 4. Nothing in the 1. Nothing in the 30. Nothing in the 15. Nothing in the 5. Okay. So right now for US30, we're just going to take a step back real quick on it. USD CAD also, again, just moving counter trend, right? Still moving down. And we're still on the 4-hour engulfing. Once again, we already knew that this was a very low probability trade on the 4-hour time frame, right? Which is again why we took a step back on it from Friday and Thursday, why we didn't take any of these trades. We're just waiting it out, waiting to see what price wants to do, right? If you're a trader that took this early on without the confirmations and you didn't hit, you didn't take profit when price went back to the tops, when it went back to the highs, then price hit your break even. If you didn't place, your stop loss to break even, then your stop loss was hit. The same thing happened on Friday. If you took these trades, right, if you didn't cash out when price went right back to the highs, price went either way, right back to break even, or it hit your stop loss. So once again, waiting for these confirmations, guys. This is a pretty much every single pair that we're going over is giving you the reasons as to why we wait for these confirmations. I had to let the cat out real quick. Right, so waiting for these confirmations, not only is it going to give you a way better entry, but then it's also just going to give you better structure, right? Better price action. Price is really going to start flowing. It's going to go into the direction that you want price to go to, right? We don't have to sit here and babysit and pray that price is going to continue to go, right? So we wait for these confirmations. So USD CAD, we know we could turn this one off for the day. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. Bitcoin, this is going to be one that we're going to look at during the NYC session. Let me open up the YouTube chat real quick. Sorry about that. I keep forgetting. Let me actually put this on both screens. Mr. Sahib, good morning, my brother. What's good, Muhammad? Yeah, I see your message already. Sir Lex, welcome to the Discord stream. Once again, anybody in Discord as well, I am streaming on YouTube. But if you guys have any questions, you guys could raise your hand in the Discord, or you could type in there's a chat in the live trading. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I did type in there. If you guys just want to ask any questions, any pairs you guys want me to go over in specific, just let me know in the chat and I'll go over them. And that goes for the YouTube chat as well. If you guys have any questions, just type in chat and we'll go over it. So Bitcoin, let's just look real quick. Do you have any engulfing candles on this one? Can we analyze indexes? Of course. I got you. Only index that I really go over is US30, but if you want me to go over S&P or NAS or anything like that, let me know. So in the 4-hour, nothing really on Bitcoin, no engulfing candles. In the 1-hour, nothing either. We still know we have this engulfing candle at the top of the zone. 30-minute time frame, nothing has really changed from last night when we were going over our pairs. Right, we're still trading between this 30-minute high and these 30-minute lows. Then going into today, we have no engulfing candles in the 1-hour, and I'm not gonna go lower than that on Bitcoin. Just gonna have to wait it out and see what price wants to do. Oh, you can't see my screen? My bad. I got you. Hold on. I forgot I switched over to this channel and I forgot to turn the stream back on. Let me know if the audio is good as well, Sir Lex. Again, I am streaming on YouTube as well, so I'm reading 2 different chats just to get everybody. And the people on YouTube, I'm streaming on Discord as well. So, alright, so Bitcoin for right now, I'm gonna turn that off. I'm not really gonna be trading Bitcoin for the week. And then oil. Alright, so price from what we were talking about last night. Instead of consolidating, price just decided to continue this uptrend push that we were in from last week. So Oil as well, I am going to skip that one for the day. So pretty much the only two pairs for the day that haven't hit STP or moving with the trend that we're looking for, it's pretty much just GU and US30. All these other pairs that we were looking at from last night, right? AU played out in the 30-minute time frame, broke our highs, gave us the retest, continued to push up to the 30-minute highs. But again, I'm not really interested in looking for these continuations on AU until we see two things. Right, again, this daily candle needs to close above the first engulfing candle that we had for the push to the top side, right, which is pretty much the broke the highs and it just continued to push down to the bottom. Then we'll see the same thing happen today and for the rest of the week. So we have to wait for these candle closures before we could continue to see AU push up. And then last night, what was the pairs for last? EJ? No. Euro GBP. Let me see. Which one were they? I think I deleted them. Euro GBP and AUD NZD were two pairs people wanted me to look at. So, Euro GBP is still doing the same thing we were talking about from last night, right? Rejecting lows, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, right? So we still don't have any clean direction as to where price wants to go. And then AUD NZD, same thing, right? We're still pretty much rejecting. We wanted to see this break. None of these are breakup structures. All of these candles are still within the zone, right? So we still rejecting highs, right? Rejecting lows, rejecting highs, and it looks like price is going to start pushing back down to the bottom again. So even for those two pairs that we were looking at from last night, we're not in the best spots to look for them yet. So for GU, well, let's go over US30 once again, since you want me to. Sahib, do you want me to go over just US30? Which pairs do you want me to look at for the indexes? You want me to go over US30, S&P, NAS, US 100, DXY? Let me know. We'll start off with US30, even though we did this one already, but we'll do it again, no problem. So US30 right now is still just moving sideways. We're just consolidating. From last week, right, and the week before, we understood that US30 had a gap here at the top of the market that we knew price was going to want to come back up to, right? So once we already filled this gap up, this is where I'm just kind of waiting for a confirmation, right? Does price want to continue this push up to the top side and give us a steeper pullback, right? Or does price want to reject these highs and start this push back down to the bottom to now fill the gaps that we have here at the bottom of the market in the 30-minute time frame and these gaps down here? So we're kind of just waiting for structure to kind of just let us know what price wants to do. Again, at this moment, price is just moving sideways, right? We still don't have any break of the highs. We're pretty much trading between this low and this high, right? So price rejecting lows, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, right? And then price is just consolidating here in the 15-30-minute time frame. We still don't really have any clean or clear direction as to where price wants to go. So we're kind of just waiting it out, right? At this moment, just keep it simple, right? What do I mean by keeping it simple? Well, if you already know you're in a zone of consolidation, right? When you're in a range, what are you looking for? You're either looking for price to break above the highs to continue the push to the top side, or we'll wait for price to break these lows to continue the push back down to the bottom side. So at this moment, it's just kind of a waiting game, waiting to see what price actually wants to do. Did I go over gold? I don't even remember. Yeah, right. We just started the continuation from last week. And gold, we're pretty much just waiting to see what price wants to do with these highs and these lows. Right? Does it want to continue the overall trend, which is lower low, lower high, lower low? So we know that we're trading between this 30-minute low and these 30-minute highs. Right? Does it want to give us a equal high or a lower high to continue into lower lows, or does price want to break above these highs and continue to push up to the top side? That's pretty much what we're waiting for. But gold for today, I'm not really that interested in trading it just yet. We'll wait for the confirmations to start to push back down to the bottom, and then we'll start looking for those trades. And GJ is pretty much very similar, right? The only thing I like about GJ is that we're in a little zone of consolidation. So it's pretty much very similar to the other pairs that are ranging. Right, for GJ to give me a solid confirmation, I either need to see a break these highs to continue, or it's going to give us a rejection of the highs and it'll start giving us the downtrend push. But at this moment, I'm just kind of waiting it out. I'm not going to really look for any entries on GJ until, tonight when we do the isolation session, the market breakdown. We'll go over all these other pairs to see if they broke away from their zone of consolidation. If they did, then we'll start looking for those entries. But if they're still just moving sideways, then we'll just wait it out until they give us the break. So yeah, for right now, GU and US30 are pretty much the only two pairs that I have left for the day that actually looks good to start trading. Let me take a look at Forex Factory as well. We hadn't used that. No, today I don't think we had any news, right? Yeah, no. AUD news, but that's tonight at 9:30, so should be a fairly, not gonna say easy day, cause it's when there's no news, it's kind of a slow day. But we shouldn't have anything too crazy in the markets for today. So yeah, GU right now we're just waiting for price to just give us kind of a steeper pullback into these areas. So we know that this is a 30-minute engulfing. So we'll see, does price want to go back down into these lows, give us a retest, and then continue the push to the top side, or is price gonna just, again, the only thing I don't like about this engulfing candle is we still don't have a break of these highs. If price would have given us a good break of structure, a clean break of structure of these highs, and then would have given us the pullback, we would 100% been more confident in this trade. Right, and again, for the people who weren't here last week when we talked about what a break of structure is and how it's supposed to look, we'll draw it out again. So in this case, we'll draw, well, actually, I think I have this drawn out. I made a screenshot of it. Let me see if you guys can see this. Could you guys see this on Discord? No, I'll have to switch my screen. Let's see. Change window. I'll do this instead. Alright, so what's the difference between a testing candle, right? Testing candles going long, testing candles going short, versus a break of structure, right? So if you're really looking at it, when we go back into the chart, let's do this, right? A testing candle, right, are still candles that, yes, even though they broke above the zone, they're still touching the BOS line, right? And in this case, just look at where the line is drawn, right? The high of the zone is pretty much this green candle, but for the sake of market structure, let's just look at the bodies of the candle, right? So we know that this is still, right, even though this green candle, this red candle closed above, right, which is pretty much this BOS line, they're still touching the zone, right? They're still testing. It's still testing candles. A break of structure is if we would have gotten another green candle, right? If another green candle would have opened, right, and it would have looked something like this. That's a horrible drawing, right? If it would have been something like this, where we're not touching the zone and we closed above the first green candle that closed above, this would have been the break of structure to then give us the pullback, right, to then continue the push to the top side. So that is what a real break of structure candle looks like. These testing candles, could price just completely ignore and disregard this 30-minute engulfing and continue to push down to the bottom? Absolutely. Because again, the same way we rejected highs here and price went all the way down, the same way we rejected the break of structure here and we went right back to the top side. Again, we did the same thing here, went back down to the bottom, right? And we're pretty much doing the same thing now. Could price just continue this push down to the bottom? Absolutely. So we want to be just a little patient with this one today. Even though we do have, a simple 30-minute engulfing, we have 2 days of rise, it's a new week. We understand that the market likes to kind of just induce traders in the beginning of the week, right? Collect contracts as you will. So let's just look at the overall too. Let's just kind of gauge where we're at. So We know that we are again V1. We're in the first zone consolidation, looking for that second push to the top side. Higher time frame, everything is looking good, right? We're still seeing higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Could this be the pullback into the higher low? Absolutely. We know that on the second push, we want to see price bounce off the 200 EMA. That's exactly where we're at right now. So right now, that's checking out. That's looking good. In the 4-hour time frame, we pretty much have 3 weeks of drop. After 3 weeks of drop, market must chop or rise. So that is also something else that's checking out, that's looking good. This week I am expecting price to at least give us a pullback to the top side. On top of that, we also know that on the 4-hour, we're on the 800 EMA. We know that price loves to respect the 800 EMA the same way we respected it here when we started the uptrend push. Oh, wow. Right? When we started that uptrend push, we started respecting the 800 EMA. Right? So we have that also lining up for us. And then in the 30-minute, we have the 372. Right? So at this moment, the only thing on GU, right, we had low, high, lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, change of character, right? And then at this point, we have higher low into where we're at here, higher high. So we will start doing this as well. Let me clean this up just a little bit so we're not so we don't seem so messy here. So we know that we're trading now between this high and these lows. Trading between this 30-minute low and these 30-minute highs. And then again, if we want to use another level of confluence, again, we want to see price bounce off the 200 EMA in level 2. We could also use the fib on the 30-minute time frame, right, which will tell us, we are expecting price to bounce off between the 50 and the 61.8. So right now, a lot of confluence is going on with us, going long, right? We have market structure in the daily time frame. We have the EMA in the daily time frame. We have the counter trend continuations in the 4-hour. And we also have the 30-minute change of character break of structure. We have the 30-minute 200 EMA. We have a 30-minute engulfing and a 15-minute engulfing, and we also have the fib retracement. So those are 6 different confluences that we could use to kind of give us a better understanding as to what price wants to do. So right now for GU, we just got to be patient, let price give us this pullback, and then we'll start taking those trades. And then again, US 30, I'm kind of just waiting for price to give us a little confirmation before the NYC session. But any other questions, guys? Any other pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. If not, we'll just be waiting here patiently for the NYC session pretty much to start. Here was good, Donovan. My bad, just seen that message. Trading the nice crispy one today. I mean, shit's not really crispy like that, but we're just waiting it out, waiting to see what price wants to kind of do. Not really. I don't really like how the charts were moving from the end of the week. Just pretty much every single pair was in a little zone of consolidation for the most part. So I'm kind of just waiting for price to finally break out of their ranges to then catch those continuations. 372. Well, GU, yeah, the GU is a little bit an exception. I was waiting for a steeper pullback. Didn't really get it. I missed it by a little bit. Just because it was moving a little bit earlier than I woke up. It's 5 a.m. So I was a little bit late for the initial entries. This one was really good too, just based off the Fib retracement too, the 50% retracement. Um, I was hoping for a little bit of a steeper pullback by the time that I woke up to the charts into this engulfing candle, but it just looks like I wanted to give us that little the entry a little bit earlier than I woke up today. So kind of missed it by literally I think I missed it by like 45 minutes. This candle was already printed by the time that I got on the charts today. So aside from GU, the other pairs, yeah, we're really just in a zone of consolidation with no continuations. But GU was really the only one that still looked pristine. But we'll see. It could potentially still give us another entry. And then also just waiting for US 30, but I'm looking at this more in the 4 hour again, just because of the little range that we're in for the last couple days. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get an entry today. Took it at that low. Yeah. Nah, it was too early for me. I'm still in bed at that time. But it's all good. Good to see me and you earn the same money always, man. We all trade the same thing, so we all gotta be looking at the sizzle. E used to say. We all gotta be looking at the same thing because we all trade the same way. And you know what's crazy too is a lot of people on social media are taking this going short, which is again like we always see that difference. It's just crazy. It's like I don't know how people look at the markets. I really don't. That's the shit that's always confusing to me. It's like how could anybody be looking for shorts right now for GU? It just doesn't make any sense. But you know, it's been the same old story every single time we hop on the charts. It's been like that for years at this point. It's nothing new. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me go take this cat litter outside real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, we'll see if we could get a little London session fake out into NYC real move here on G. That's what I'm kind of banking on at this point. Pretty much going to be the only way we'll be able to catch an entry on G. Then again, what we were talking about earlier on the stream, 800 EMA used as a little magnet, so we know price is going to want to reach up there, and then also the STP. So everything is lining up. Again, the daily time frame, we have higher highs, higher lows. The daily time frame, we have the 200 EMA. The 4-hour time frame, we have 3 weeks of counter drop. So we already know after 3 weeks, market must chop or rise. And then the 30-minute, we have not only the engulfing candle, but we also have the 200 EMA. So Nice push on GU, yes sir. At this point, I'm just expecting this to continue to push that top side. How's US 30 doing? Got an hour and a half for that 4-hour candle. Looking good. Oh man. RR tracks on 15-minute? What do you mean by that? What are we talking about here? Oh, last green candle. Would it classify as an engulfing candle? No. If you're talking about this one right here, the one at 8:15, no. It would have been a different story. It wouldn't be an engulfing candle even if this would have been a valid exhaustion candle, right? If this red candle here that gave us that wick, if it would have been a green candle and it would have been an exhaustion candle with then it given us that push, then it would have been a little bit different. But no, I'm still believing that this could be an inducement, right? To make people believe this is where the shorts are happening. But I'm also saying that because of this right here. This is what the engulfing candle pattern looks like, right? That green, green, red. The only thing that's not valid between this engulfing candle, which is again another inducement, right? Because if you don't know what a real engulfing candle pattern looks like, you would think that this is where the engulfing candle is to go short, right? The reason why it's not valid is because it doesn't have a bottom wick, right? So then you compare it to the one that I have drawn out here, that red, red, green, where all candles have top and bottom wicks, the green candle closed above the red, right? We have the closure above, we just still don't have that retest. This is the only thing that's still kind of saving us, well, saving me from the entry, which is if they do decide to use this as an inducement, right, to trap all these people going short, right, give us a little push down here, fake them all out, and then continue to push up to the top side, that could be something that's going to happen. Or they're just going to use the internal time frame, right? If we go to the, even the 1 minute, I think the 1 minute would look better on this one, right, where all the people who are still trading this as lower low, lower high, lower low, right, instead of using lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, right, the break of structure really happened here, right, higher high, all the people who are into these trades going short, right, that we have higher lows somewhere in this area. We could even use the low of these zones, right? Higher low could be here, higher low could be here, higher low could be here, to then trap those shorts going back up to the top side. So that's still something that could happen. Could still be looking for a little bit of a steeper. I don't think at this point, you know, I don't think we'll go down to these lows down here. Based on today, right? You know, if price for any type of reason today gives us a rise no net or a rise drop, then then we know we're gonna use these areas as a point of interest to get into tomorrow. You know, for price to give us that fourth day variation after the 372. I hope that made sense. But no, nothing in the 15-minute from these last candles. None of these would be engulfing candles. This is a fake exhaustion candle, and then nothing really here. At this point, I'm really banking on either we're gonna get that pullback today, right, to then continue that push to the top side, or this will most likely just be waiting towards the end of the day to see does price want to give us just the clean 372, right, or does it want to give us that rise no net or rise drop towards the end of the day. So like if by 5 p.m. that'll be here, right? So if price ends up giving us, we already have the rise. So if price ends up doing something like, will we finish here, right, on the no net, anywhere between here, right, and then Asia session, London session, we end up doing something like this where we could then continue to push up to the top side. That'll be something ideal for us to be looking forward to. Mr. Bashir, good morning, good morning. Hope you're doing well, my brother. For today, just pretty much GU and US 30 is pretty much the only two pairs left for the day. However, GU gave an entry earlier in the morning, 5:30. So right now we're just kind of waiting to see, is it gonna give us a pullback, right? Does it want to give us a pullback before continuing to push to the top side, or is it just gonna continue to go? But yeah, for right now, just GU and US 30, and then US 30, I'm just waiting for a full hour confirmation. So this will be a little bit closer to NYC session, obviously, right? We have an hour pretty much for the NYC session to start, so we'll wait for that full hour confirmation, and we'll wait for the NYC session before waiting to see what price is gonna do. What do you think of GJ? We'll go look at GJ real quick. So, well, we'll do it here. It don't matter. GJ for now, just kind of waiting it out still. Same thing. I don't know if you were here last night, but just still kind of waiting for price to give us a confirmation as to what it wants to do in the little range that we were in. Price already does seem like it wants to start breaking the highs again. The confirmation for a break of structure is going to be if we could get another green candle to close above these zones without touching the line, and obviously has to close above the wick. So right now for GJ, when it comes to today itself, I'm not really looking at GJ for the rest of the day today. This is more of waiting to see if price is gonna, if it wants to break above the zone of consolidation. If it does, then we know we'll have a continuation back to the top side for the rest of the week. So this is more a pair to look at, for tonight during the isolation session, the market breakdown. Asia session and then trading it tomorrow morning. But GJ, we just kind of gotta wait to see what price wants to do here. And technically the highs are here, so we still don't have a real break of structure of these highs yet. Just kind of still waiting. Out on break even on GU. Yeah, we'll get another entry opportunity. It's no doubt. Yo, how did the USD CAD trade go last week? Did you cash out in profit, or did it go? Did you have that shit back in break even? I wanted to ask you that last week and I completely forgot. Small profit on UC, not bad. $15 that'll be an engulfing. Nah. Again, this is the engulfings would look like this. We'll draw it out. For an example, for a bearish engulfing, it would be this would be the engulfing, right? And then we'd be looking for price to give us a retest to then continue going short. And then also just always look at the wicks when it comes to trading view, right? Trading view is a little bit different than MT4, MT5, right? On trading view, especially if that candle doesn't have a bottom wick or it doesn't have a top wick, is not a strong enough candle to be considered an engulfing candle. And that goes for both ways. That goes for if you're looking at the pattern as well, but then also just looking at the candlesticks. And then the bullish is the same thing, just opposite. You have the and this would be the bullish one. Learn something new every day, bro. This was the shit me and E were trying to. This was part of the candlestick analysis that me and him dig deep to try to learn, right? And then after, I think he left before I figured this shit out. So I don't think, I'm trying to remember the timeline. Like this literally happened what, probably October 2023, almost a year ago. That's pretty much been my confluence. That's, you know, an extra layer of confluence, which is the same thing that I was explaining last week for UCAD, right? If UCAD in the 4 hour time frame, right? And I was gonna, I think I know I made a tweet about it the other day trying to explain why I didn't take this trade, right? If on UCAD, if we would have had the confirmation of this engulfing, right? And the reason why this engulfing is different, right? So remember, let me go back to GJ here. Let's take US30 out real quick, right? So an engulfing candle, like a very good and clear engulfing candle, you always got to, and it's the same thing in every single time frame, right? You want to make sure that those candles close below, right? You want to make sure that the engulfing candle closes below the entire candle. If it doesn't close below the wick, but it closes below the body, right? For an example, how on USD CAD, even though we had the candle closure above the body, it never closed above the wick, right? So the confirmation for that engulfing candle is going to be another green candle, right? Another bullish candle closing above the zone to then give us the pullback. So already a confirmation as to why I wasn't really looking at these trades for UCAD, right? The day that we were here on stream, that we talked about it, was because we never had that engulfing candle. It never gave us a valid engulfing. So, you know, in instance, obviously this is the 4 hour, so the stop loss is going to be a little bigger, right? But just for the instance of, for the reasoning, right? The example, let's say we would have taken the trade, we would take it on the retest, right? We'd have a stop loss down here. Stop loss would have been hit, right? So that's why I've started using these engulfing candles in every single time frame. Again, and every single time it plays out. Every single time, right? On the 17th, right? Again, this entry, beautiful, right? Engulfing candle. The engulfing candle closed below the wick. All I'm waiting for is that next confirmation, which is this green candle. After we got that candle closure, I'm looking for the retest, right? Once we get that retest, that's the entry, right? Stop loss, and this is zone of consolidation, so this one's a little bit easier, right? We have that 8 to 9 pips stop loss, and then we're going right back to the top of the zone, right? So that's one entry right there, 30-minute engulfing. We have another one right here, right? Red, green. This one closed above the wick. It was a true engulfing candle. All we're looking for is the retest. Once we get the retest of the zone, same thing. 11 pip stop loss, back to the top of the zone, right? Or whatever STP for this day was, right? Same thing for this entry down here that I were explaining, right? Red, green. This one didn't close above the wick. So what are we looking for? We're looking for another green candle to close above the zone. This one was that green candle. We're looking for the retest to continue to go to the top side. All right, let's look for another one. Right, this one was the 1 hour. In the 1 hour time frame, we had a, well, I can't go back to it, but this was, if you want to see it, this was for May 16th. Right, we had a 1 hour engulfing. We got the retest. Same thing. As soon as we got on the retest, stop loss below the zone at 10, 11 pips, straight back to the top of the zone, whatever STP for this day was. Right, same thing here. 30-minute engulfing. Once again, this one closed above the zone. This one was perfect. Right, boom, we closed above the zone. We're going right back. We got the retest, right down to the bottom. 9 pip stop loss to go back to the top. This one was a 4 hour engulfing, right? So we go to the 4 hour now, right? 4 hour engulfing. Red, green. We're looking for the retest. We got the retest, right back to the top of the zone. Every single time. This shit does not fail, right? Even going counter, we had a 30-minute. Right? going counter with the trend, we know we were in a zone of consolidation, right? Once we started the change of character, break of structure, right? What are we looking for? We're looking for that pullback to continue that push back down to the low of consolidation. We had a 30-minute engulfing candle. Green, green, red. Red closed below, so we already know we're looking for a pullback, right? And it took a little bit of time, but once we got that pullback, right, that's the entry. But you know, we don't trade going counter, so this isn't one that I'm looking for, but it gives us an indication as to, you know, if we take these trades going to the top side, right, we know that our target is going to be the top of the zone, right? So this is a 13 pip stop loss, and then we already know at the top of the zone of consolidation, if you really want to take a trade going counter, you can, but we already know the repercussions for trading counter as well. Right, so I'm not really doing anything different than we've done before. It's the same thing. Right, I'm still taking the same entries too. When it's not an engulfing candle, I'm looking for, you know, the little E specials, you know, whatever the case is, the EMA bounces and everything. But having those engulfing candles, like, now we really understand why. You know, before, we could say it this way, right? Like, before we had a nice 70 to 85% win rate, right? And understanding, okay, why didn't these trades work? Why did our price reverse when we knew, you know, what we were looking for? The engulfing candles were the reasons why. Every single time. Every single time. And that works for every single pair. Bitcoin, I've been taking the same trades. Oil, you know, US 30. Again, you know, the other day you saw me on the Tesla chart, right? I'm trading Tesla the exact same way. And what I like about Bitcoin is that Bitcoin really, what I've noticed on Bitcoin is it does it on the 1 hour time frame more than anything else. So let's go to the 1 hour. Right, for Bitcoin, it's really, you sit on the 1 hour on Bitcoin, that shit is the safest way to trade this. Right, so boom, red, red, green, true engulfing candle. All we're looking for is that retest back into the zone. That's the entry to continue the push to the top side. Right. Same thing here, right? Another entry that was given here. 1 hour engulfing, red, red, green. Price gave us a retest to continue. We had a 30-minute one here, and this was me explaining this as well. This was, what day was this? This was in May, so a few months ago I was explaining the engulfing candles as well. Right, 1 hour engulfings down here for these entries. Right, red, red, green, I'm looking for that retest. Once we get that retest to continue, we had another 1 hour engulfing here. Once we got the retest, we continued to push to the top side. Right, a little 30-minute engulfing going short after the change of character, break of structure. Right, we had another 30-minute engulfing here to go back to the top. We had a 1 hour engulfing here to go short. Another 1 hour engulfing here going short. So, you know, and these trades were already before the market started taking a piss on us. So you can see how constant Bitcoin was giving us engulfing candles. This was in a lower time frame, I think the 15-minute. Right, we had a 4 hour engulfing here to continue the push to the top side as well. We had a little 1 hour engulfing here, but price never came back to it, you know, and it wasn't until here, but price already kind of turned around, so this one didn't do anything. This was a little E special. This was a 5-minute engulfing. This was a 1 hour engulfing. This was a little E special. This one was a lower time frame, change of character, break of structure. This was a 30-minute engulfing, 30-minute engulfing, 30-minute engulfing retest. Right, you can see how this one was beautiful too. This one was a 1 hour engulfing going short. And this was, again, these days we're in March, so let's keep going. Let's see if we can find another one. These were other ones in lower time frames, a 5-minute. This was 1 hour. This was a 30-minute one here. Little E special here in the lower time frame. We're back in February for this. This one was against the trend, obviously making lower lows and lower highs, so this isn't a valid engulfing candle. This is a 1 hour going short. This is a 1 hour going short. Right, and then we're back in January. Right, this was a little E special. This was a 30-minute engulfing. So Yeah, man, it's we put in a whole bunch of time for this. You know how it goes, the usual. Same thing for US 30 too. It's all traded the same way. We had a 30-minute engulfing to start this downtrend push. We had these 30-minute engulfings down here to give us the push to the top side. We have a 1 hour engulfing candle here. Right, a 1 hour engulfing. We had the retest on this day. Gave us the beautiful start to the top side, which was also the bottom of the zone of consolidation here. Once it gave us a confirmation, that break of structure, right? We got the break of structure retest on the 1 hour engulfing to continue, right? So we always ask that question, like, yo, how do these people get, and this comes from Q Banks, right? How do these people get these wicks? How do they always get those wick entries? Yo, this is how. Right, the 4 hour engulfing candle, we had the retest on this day to continue back down to the low of consolidation. Right, 1 hour engulfing to continue, 4 hour engulfing to continue, 30-minute engulfing candle to continue. 4 hour engulfing gave us a beautiful break retest of it. This happened right before the NYC session, right? 9/9/30 to continue, which is also, a type 3 pattern, 50-50. Consolidation, break, come back 50% of consolidation to continue. Let's keep going. This day we had a 5-minute engulfing candle here. This day was our little type 1 pattern in a downtrend, right? Consolidation, break, double top, change of character, break of structure to continue to push down to the bottom. There's a daily engulfing candle here to go short, 30-minute engulfing candle going long, 30-minute engulfing going short, the 1 hour engulfing going long, and this one happened at the end of the day, so this one wasn't even, we weren't able to catch this because of the spreads and everything. This literally happened as soon as the market opened. Type 3 pattern, consolidation, come back 50% of consolidation to continue the push to the top side. This one was a 30-minute engulfing candle. So yeah, you got the gist of it. So for example, right now on US 30, right, we have what it looks like an engulfing pattern, right? The green, green, red. But you can see that these candles aren't even strong candles, right? This 30-minute candle opened with a gap. This 30-minute closed with a gap and opened with a gap. None of these candles have top wicks. So we already know that's not a valid engulfing candle. Nothing in the 15-minute, nothing in the 5-minute, but we know that we have a gap in the market here, so price is going to continue that push to the top side for now. So US 30 sometimes in the 1 minute, you could also look for those engulfing candles. I don't personally like using the 1 minute, but it could happen sometimes. And I have these screenshots, right? Like trying to teach people what a real break of structure looks like compared to a testing candle, because there's a lot of people who don't know what that looks like either. And so I have that drawn out. I have the engulfing candles drawn out here as well, as you can see. And we have the different type 1s, type 2, type 3s for the bullish, and the same thing for bearish, just inverted. Instead of it being a double bottom, it'd be a double top. Instead of this being a break and retest to continue going to the top side, it would be the opposite, right? Break to the lows to continue. And then the type 3 pattern, instead of it coming back 50%, from the top side, it'll be from the bottom. It'll be the same thing. So again, there's nothing different than what we've been doing for the last 7-8 years. It's all been the same thing. We just added another layer of confluence, which in my opinion, bro, that engulfing candle, again, I did a stream a couple weeks ago, well, no, it wasn't a stream. It was a one-on-one session where I was pretty much going over. The guy was like, "Yo, what do you trade?" I'm like, "Bro, I just trade the markets." Like, aside from market structure, right? Because market structure is key, right? The biggest question we always get is, how do high probability versus low probability, right? How do you know which double bottoms and double tops work? How do you know which ones, whenever you're looking at your strategy, how do you know which one is going to work out, which one isn't going to work out? Again, aside from market structure, which is, again, if you're trading, if price is making lower lows and lower highs, right, and you're looking for a bullish confirmation, right, whether that's a double bottom, for a lot of people who trade ICT concepts, right, the fair value gaps, the order blocks, right, which one do you know? How do you know which one to select and which one to stay away from? Right, these engulfing candles make that shit easier, right? Because for us here, for example, right, we know we're in level 2, we want to see price bounce off the 200 EMA. Okay, cool. So right now we know we're on the 50, right? So it's like, okay, we understand that this is also the push number 3. This is also a break of structure retest of the 50% fib retracement. So everything is lining up. The only thing right now that's still not lining up in the 30-minute time frame is the same thing that happened on Friday, right? The 200 EMA, right? But what is the 200 EMA lining up with? Is lining up with our 30-minute engulfing. So we already know that price is gonna, if it does something like what we drew out here, right? If it does continue this push up to the top side, it's perfect. We already know that that is something that could happen 100%. But if it doesn't, if it ends up giving us a pullback, then we know where it's going to go. It's going to go not only to the 200 EMA, not only is it going to go to the 78.6 retracement, but it's also going to be at the 30-minute engulfing candle, right? And we also already know if it does end up giving us this pullback the way that I drew out, we have a rise no net. We already know we're going to get that 4th day variation going into tomorrow. So it's a lot of confluence here for you as for a GU. How long you been trading? Since 2017. 2017 is when I started. I was still pretty young. I'm not gonna put my information out there. I almost folded. Yeah, 2016, 2017 is when I started. Then I started full-time trading in 2020, the end of 2021 going into 2022 is when I turned into full-time. So it's about to be almost 10 years, man. Almost a decade. This shit is crazy. Time flies. My first 3-4 years, it was me just learning. Donovan was there for all of this, so he could vouch. My first 3-4 years, I was strictly learning. I was on demo trades, demo accounts. I never opened a live account. Until I started being profitable in my demo. Until I felt comfortable enough to be like, okay, I'm starting to put money into it. And it wasn't until when I started trading my live accounts, pretty much from there on, it was just an uphill. I'm not gonna say an uphill battle, but it took a little bit of time before I was actually comfortable trading and not anxious anymore to get into trades. A lot of the things that everybody, every trader goes through the same type of stages, right? We all go through the anxiousness, when do I enter, when do I exit, not being confident in what you're looking at, closing out of trades early, closing out of trades, late, too long. Yeah, man. It's it's crazy how the difference in traders now and how they want to start compared to, like I said, even compared to 5 years ago, right? Not a lot of people want to start off with demos. Everybody wants to start trading today and then tomorrow they open up a live account, right? Nobody wants to really put in the time to learn. I guess it was just the mentality was a little different, and it's also depending on who you're learning from, right? If all your information is just coming from a guy on social media who's flexing a Lamborghini, and flexing that he's charging you $500 for a Discord server, you kind of got to realize, are you learning from somebody who's really a trader, or are you learning from somebody who's trying to sell you a dream so you could buy his course so he could go up and buy another property? You know what I mean? And that was different, right? A couple years ago, yeah, there was some of that, right? But for the most part, a lot of the traders that we saw, again, like I like using Q Banks as an example because he's a really good example. Like before Q Banks was posting cars and traveling to different countries, and now he's a prop firm owner, but before that he was posting pictures of him trading when he was working his full-time job at Target, at a retail store. So it's you can't compare that. You can't compare it to what you see now, where like you go to any type of social media pop star trader, you scroll back to 2018, motherfucker doesn't have anything. All he has is, oh, all of a sudden he started posting cars and all this shit that people like to buy into. So and then there'll be those same motherfuckers who tell you, oh, if you're trading demo account, you're losing money. Like, dude, that doesn't make sense, man. Like, you go to school, you go to university for 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, you're not getting a dime until you graduate. And then even after you graduate, you still have to apply to jobs and fucking use your degree. It's the same way in trading, right? Like, this isn't something that you're going to start today and you're gonna know it. Like, this is something where you're gonna really have to put in the time to understand what it is. It's gonna be the same way. Trading is the same way school is. It's the same system. You have to learn it. Some people learn quicker than others, right? Some people on a regular, it'll take you 4 years to graduate with just the smallest title, right? A little bachelor. Some people it takes 5 years. Some people it takes 6 years. Some people may need a semester or two more than others. It's the same way in trading. Some people can learn this in a year. Some others take 3 years. Some others take 7 years. It's just the persistence of it. Do you really want it, or do you just, are you married to the fact that you're going to be rich and that's what you're marrying, or do you really like trading? It's the same way as a doctor or a lawyer, right? Are you becoming a doctor because you like to be a doctor, or are you becoming a doctor because your parents want you to be a doctor? And then once you start going to college, you don't pass your classes because that's not what you're passionate about. So trading, it's a long journey, but it's, to me, it doesn't even feel. I'm about to be 10 years in trading in 2 years. I haven't even thought about that. I started literally 2016. I don't remember, 2016, 2017, something like that. So, and it hasn't even felt that long. But again, really thinking about it, it's like, yeah, like I was learning trading when I was young. I'm still young, but I was doing 10 other things aside from trading. I didn't start taking trading serious until, yeah, 2020, 2021. So it took me 4 or 5 years to really strap up and start learning and doing. I've been doing this shit every single day since then. Every single day. Even when I was working a full-time job, I was in college, and I was doing, gaming on the side, which wasn't even on the side. That was my full-time gig as well. I would still show up to our classes at 7 p.m. If I was coming home late from work, I let you guys know, like, yo, I'm on the way home, but I'm starting the class. I was up at 5:30 every single day, even with all that shit that I was doing, because I really enjoyed doing this. I still enjoy it, which is crazy too. This is something I still enjoy doing every single day. I hate the weekends. Fuck the weekends, man. As soon as the market's open, yes, let me get on my computer. But you guys know how it is. I mean, think of it. We've been doing free sessions, pretty much giving free clout, free trades since last year, October. Right? This time last year, we've been doing this shit every day. And people, we still see people on a day-to-day basis taking losing trades, You know what I mean? Like we're still seeing people. The trades that we win are the trades that people lose, and then the days that we decide to stay away from the markets are the days that people are still losing. You know. So again, we've been doing this for so long. You know, not only me, Vice itself started with E, which he's not here right now. He was supposed to be back, but you know he's living his life. You know, he started this in what, Donovan, 2014, 2015. So, you know, he's been doing this shit for way longer than I have, and really doing it. He's been really doing it for a decade, almost more than a decade. I've really only been doing it for a few years, technically speaking. So, that's a long shot glove. We finally hooked up, yes sir. Pause though. So, it's trading shit. I mean, everybody has the same story, man. Anybody who's a real successful trader, like some, I'm telling you, like real traders, like they all have the same story. It takes them anywhere between 4 to 7 years, you know, to really be successful at trading. But you know, there's the mindset of who a trader is and what they do is also such a fantasy, right? Like I'm seeing a lot of people now, you know, close friends of mine as well, who fall into depression because they want to live, you know, only 1% of the world, and that's a low number, but just to give you an example, right? Only 1% of the people could really say that, oh yeah, I live off of trading, right? Depends on what their lifestyle is. Let's talk about, you know, again, let's talk about the top percentages of traders, you know, the ones who show off fancy cars and fucking mansions and all this, you know, jewelry on them and all that. Like again, only 1% of those people actually only live off of trading. You know, on the side, you know, how many businesses do they have aside from trading? So it's like, what my point is, there's so many people now who are just so scared to live their life and feel so pressured into, oh, I need to make $1 million by tomorrow trading. Like, no, you don't, man. Like, learn how to trade, continue to live your life. You know, there's so many people who still have side gigs. There's still so many people who enjoy doing their work. They go to work, they come home, they trade, they wake up, they trade, they go to work, and they enjoy their life. But you know, there's so much negative things on social media who's like, oh, if you're not trading full time, you're not a real trader. It's like that's not even true. Like that's not, you know, again, that's just them trying to persuade you into thinking that you're a loser because you're working. Like, brother, we all have to eat. We all have to pay bills. You know, there's nothing wrong with fucking working a respectable job, and every job you do is respectable. So, man, there's a lot of things we could talk about and go into the rabbit hole about trading and how the industry is now, you know, but there's no point in doing that. You know, there's so many people on Twitter itself, right? Like I do giveaways on my page on Twitter at least every other week. And yo, the messages I be getting, I'm just like, yo, you guys have no clue about me. And I don't talk about myself because I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people start saying, oh, but now you're an affiliate with a prop firm, so now you're scamming. I'm like, brother, all the money I get from being an affiliate, which is the sales, all of that goes towards giveaways. I don't get that money, but people don't see that, right? So it's like, you know, I'm here to help people. If I was here scamming, I would charge you guys for one-on-one sessions. I would charge you guys to watch me trade, but I don't. Everything I do is free. I've never heard of somebody scamming for free. I've never heard that in my life. That's the first time I've ever heard something like that. Oh, you're scamming. How am I scamming? I don't fucking collect a dime from you guys. It doesn't make sense. So, you know, it is what it is. It's one of those things where, you know, luckily for me, again, I come from a background of gaming, right? That's all I've done in my life since I was fucking 11 years old, right? I'm used to winning. I'm used to people telling me, "Oh, you're cheating. That's why you're winning." Like I'm used to people talking mad shit to me. I'm used to going to events and people standing up and yelling in my face talking about I suck when I'm still winning. So it's like, And then hearing it from people on social media now that I don't know, like, yo, that shit doesn't affect me. But there's certain things where, again, a community as traders, supposedly people who make so much money, but then they're still living life so fucking sad. That was something I wasn't expecting out of this community. I'm gonna be honest with you. All the negativity that I see online, and now that I've pretty much fully immersed into trading, into that community, I really wasn't expecting so much hate, and the negativity that's around it is it's crazy. It's like, wow, supposedly you guys make this much money and you're still so miserable? I don't get it. But, it is what it is, man. Community and trading is so rare, but the industry has made it bad. Oh, I agree. I agree. Again, it pretty much all started, I mean, it's been like that for a minute. We just really haven't seen it. It wasn't as big as it is now. So, now there's a lot more negativity than before, but there's so much there's so much we could say, and you know pick and choose between different scenarios. But at the end of the day, I've also realized every community is like that. Every community is like that. There's not one community that you're gonna join or you're gonna be a part of and you're gonna be like, wow, these guys are nice. Like, every industry is the same way, right? You're always gonna have people talking bad about other people no matter what they do, whether what they do is good or bad. And that's just human nature. You can't stop that. It's human nature to want to be part of the T, right? How we call it here. I don't know another word in Spanish. I'm not gonna say it in Spanish, obviously. Um, Everybody always wants to be a part of the drama. You could say it that way. There's always has to be drama. It's never like, congratulations, you did something, right? Nobody's ever really happy for somebody doing something. People are always gonna find the bad in you. Always. It doesn't matter what it is, who it's about, why they started doing it. But that's just human nature. Again, we've been built like that. You know, the world has been like that for since the dawn of time. It's always been that way. But it is what it is. Again, for me, it was just more about the thought process of why I thought trading wasn't really like that was just because, again, these people are making, supposedly these guys are making so much money. They don't have time to be in drama. But I was completely wrong. I stopped using Instagram. I really only use X because I could filter out what I see and what I don't see. So, that's the only reason why I still use X. But anytime I go on and I turn off the filters, I'm just like, wow, like, this is so sad, man. Like, yo, people really have nothing to fucking do, man. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. Also, the issue is people also want it easy, a click away, or stalking crab sitting on the stand. Yeah. Or what? Oh, talking crab sitting on the stand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, that's why I also decided, when it comes to these streams and when it comes to me posting shit about trading, you know, I'm only gonna post what I want people to see from me. I'm not posting how much money I make. I'm not posting, like, my screenshots of my charts are strictly trading view. You could see how many pips I risked to the reward that I got. You could see that. Now you already know people start talking about, oh yeah, but that's a cent. That's 10-cent loss size. Alright, buddy. I was trading 10 cents in fucking 2018, 2019. Good luck, buddy. And those screenshots are posted. I still have those screenshots up on Instagram. I was posting 10 cents years ago. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't, there's, on top of everything else with social media, we also live in a day and age, and where I live, right? I live in Miami. I'm in Florida. You know, there's too much negative shit going on around the world for me to walk around with a billboard on top of my head talking about how much money I make. There's just not, there's no way in how I'm putting myself at risk like that. I'm good. I'm not showing you the car that I drive, and I don't drive anything crazy. I'm not materialistic. I'm none of that. So I don't have a car. I have a car. I don't have a super car. I still have the same car I got when I was working a fucking 9 to 5. I still have the same car I was driving since I started in college, and that shit works perfectly fine. It takes me to point A to point B. I don't have no jewelry. I went through my phase of buying shoes. I have no shoes left. They're talking about like Jordan and stuff. That's what's worn down here. I have one pair of shoes and one pair of Crocs. The clothes I wear is on brand. Is my brand. I don't go to Gucci. I don't go to, you know, any store. I don't All the clothes I wear is my branded clothes. Either it's Vice clothing or it's my clothing from when I was gaming. Like, oh no, it is Crocs. But let's take a step back here. Donovan, you gotta put some respect, bro. It's some Salehis, alright? So it's not just any regular, degular Crocs. We're talking about the Salehis, the Salehi Crocs. Let's take a step back here, okay? Those Crocs, not only are they mad comfortable, but they're dope as fuck. I don't know about you, but don't even bring that up to E, cause he will start telling you off. There's no way you're talking shit about Crocs. That's what he wears too. He's the one who got me into them. Nah, trust me, fuck the flip flops. I first started off with the Easy slides, and I didn't like them. I did it more for the aesthetic of it. They weren't comfortable, but they were good slides to wear on a regular, day-to-day basis. But these Crocs, the Salehi joints, oh yeah, they're mad comfortable. I'm calling E now, bro. He has like no bullshit. He probably has like 7 pairs of them. The same shoe, just different colors. He got the neon ones. He got some black ones, the white ones. He's the one who put me onto them. I bought these pairs the last time I went to DR. It's like 2022, 2021. And those have been my day-to-day basis shoes. Like, I don't even wear my sneakers. Like the Jordans that I have, again, I only have one pair of Jordans, the fours, the cement fours. And I've been wearing those proudly for years, bro. We're talking about, like, when did those shoes come out? 2014ish, 2015ish. I've been wearing those shoes every single, and they just started, like, now they squeak. So now I gotta make a quick withdrawal and buy another pair of sneakers, because that is something I haven't done in a minute. But I give up. Yo, Donovan, trust, man. Go buy some Go buy some Crocs. Go buy the Salehi ones, man. I'm telling you. You're gonna be like, alright, these are comfortable. And I was a hater of Crocs too for a minute. I was like, I'm never wearing Crocs. Them shit's ugly. But nah, man. Of course they'll squeak. Hey, man. But yeah, to finish off that conversation, bro, I don't, I'm very, not only am I private, but I'm very low key. Very, very low key. I don't need people online to be stalking me and trying to look for me. Like the people now here in Miami who be, there's a trader here that lives by downtown in Brickell, and he started posting his car and all of that, and I'm like, man, you don't really understand the type of danger you're putting yourself in doing that. It's crazy that somebody who's making that type of bread is willingly putting his information like that outside of his family and friends. But it is what it is. Time for trading. All right, Donovan. I'll hit you up later. I'll let you know how this trade goes. I'll hit you up in the Discord. I'll put it in the Discord chat. So let's go back to the charts real quick. So US 30, we're pretty much again just still waiting for this in the 4 hour time frame. I'm waiting for that 4 hour confirmation. We got 30 minutes left, so NYC session's about to start in a minute. And for G, we're still just waiting it out. right? The early entries that were given at 5 a.m. Obviously, we're not really awake for those, but waiting for the continuation. We're waiting to see, does price want to continue this trend to the top side for the day, or does it want to give us a small pullback? If it gives us a pullback back into the engulfing candle, then we'll take those trades going back up to the top side. And if it doesn't give us the push, then it is what it is. These are really the only two pairs I have left for the day, GU and US30. So we're pretty much just still waiting for the confirmations for both of these pairs. We'll wait for the 4-hour candle here on US30 in 30 minutes to see how it closes, and then GU will continue to monitor it to see if it wants to give us a pullback or if it wants to just continue this push up to the top side, and we'll see if we could wait for a continuation to get into those trades. Uh, Close don't break even. We'll catch them again, yes sir. Fuck the Crocs. All right, my brother. We'll hit you up later. Yeah, and I was talking to the YouTube chat, but if you guys are here in the Discord as well, if you guys have any questions, you could always type in the live trading chat, or you could raise your hand, speak, let me know what pairs you guys want me to look over. Any questions you guys have, let me know. It's crazy. High schools in, not in my county, but in another county that's close to where I live. Uh, they started doing metal detectors. Today's the first day of school. There's no way. Those fucking kids, man. And 7 minutes into first period, right? Like they already started class, and there's still a fat line outside of the school, just waiting for it to, waiting to go through the metal detectors. It's crazy that this is the type of shit. Like, yo, you gotta go to school and go through metal detectors. Like, never thought I'd see that in my lifetime. It's insane. An hour ago, downtown Miami. People already getting arrested and thrown in the streets. Yo, this is why I stay indoors, man. Like, y'all could go ahead and go out, go to clubs, and go do whatever y'all want to go do. I'll stay in my house, man. It's insane, bro. People really just be doing the most for no reason. Still waiting for GU? Yep, we're still just waiting for GU. Waiting to see what it wants to do. This is pretty much gonna be, again, if it decides to just continue the push up to the top side, right? If it does continue that push up to the top side and just gives us this regular just 3 days of rise, then it is what it is, right? We won't have any entry opportunities pretty much until probably Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. However, if price does, right, exactly what we pretty much drew out here, right? If price decides to start giving us a pullback back down to the bottom towards the end of the session, which is what this line is here that I drew out at 5 p.m., then we won't have any entries for today. We'll just have to wait for price to give us the entry opportunity going into tomorrow. So pretty much Asia session tonight going into tomorrow. But as of right now, like the 30-minute, just looking into it, like could we look for an entry right now? Not really, right? Unless we get an engulfing candle in the lower time frames, unless we have an engulfing candle, for example, in the 4 hour, nothing in the 4 hour, nothing in the 1 hour either, nothing in the 30-minute. Unless price gives us a simple, clear entry where we're just gonna continue. For example, if price does something like this, where we could just continue to get into a higher low to go into a higher high, right? Then we'll do that. Which we could have that opportunity, right? If price breaks above these highs, right, above the 30-minute highs, gives us a higher low, then we know we could at least reach this point up here, and this will be where TP number 1 is gonna be, right? So we just gotta wait for that opportunity. Still got a little bit to see what price wants to do, right? Because if we would have gotten into any of these trades down here, stop losses were hit, break evens were hit, there's no point. It's still too early in the game to get into these trades. So we'll just wait it out. We'll see what price wants to do. And then for US 30, again, I'm just more waiting for this 4 hour candle closure, which we could already see that we're pretty much not going to get that 4 hour candle closure. So, again, at this point, I am expecting price now to continue this downtrend push for US 30. Again, the same thing we were talking about since last night, right? Rejecting the lows, right? Rejecting the highs, rejecting the lows, rejecting the highs, going back down to the middle, rejecting the highs again for price to continue this downtrend push. So, at this point for US 30, we'll start looking for an engulfing candle going short. Nothing in the 30-minute, nothing in the 15-minute, 5-minute. Let's see. Right, we don't have an engulfing candle in the 5-minute either. We're still trading between this higher low and this higher high, which now price gave us a change of character, lower low. 1-minute time frame, we don't have an engulfing candle either. So we'll see what US 30 wants to do. If it wants to give us a nice pullback, back to the top side and give us an opportunity to trade going short, then we'll take that. But for the most part, we understand US 30, especially Sundays going into Mondays, right? The first day of the week, we know that US 30 likes to just move fast, right? Usually on Mondays, right? Sunday going into Monday, price usually just continues to melt once that price started already moving. So, we'll see if we can catch an opportunity for US 30 today as well. But we'll give it, again, 20 minutes. We'll wait for this 4 hour candle closure to really see what price wants to do. be right back, guys. Gonna go to the kitchen. I'm a little hungry. I'm back. My bad. But yeah, guys. Again, this is why we wait for these confirmations, guys. Again, it's very simple, man. It's very simple. I know it's we all want to get into a trade. We all want to buy and sell. But again, unfortunately, is not as easy as again. I'm not gonna use the word not as easy. I'm not gonna use that statement because again, what's easy for me might not be easy for you, right? And what's easy for you might not be easy for me. Sorry about that. So yeah, what's simple for me might not be simple for you. What's simple for you might not be simple for me. At the end of the day, again, your strategy in trading is as easy as you make it, right? If you put in the time to understand the reasons why the market moves the way they move, then your entry criterias and your reasonings as to why you entered a trade and why you stayed away from a trade and why you exited a trade and all the reasonings as to why you did what you did are going to be easy. But again, it all has a trading plan. It all has a reason, right? So, I'm a believer that in order to trade the markets effectively, you have to have every single piece of the puzzle. Now, again, that doesn't mean that you need it to be profitable, right? That doesn't mean that you need to know everything about the markets to be profitable. No, right? Again, there's people with a 20%, 20, 25%, 30, 35% win rate who are still very much profitable, right? If you have good risk management and you have an edge in the market and you know when to operate and when to cut short and when to cut your losses short, you'll be profitable, right? There's people who are comfortable trading that way. There are people who are comfortable scalping. There are people who are comfortable taking 30, 60, 70 trades in 2.5 days, right? Losing 40 of them and winning 30 of them, or losing 70 of them and only winning 3 trades, right? There are people who are trading that way and it's profitable. Everybody has a different strategy, everybody has a different outlook of the charts. It's just how you operate in the time of need, right? So, once again, there's certain movements in the market that you have to be able to see where it's like, okay, if you're gonna be this type of trader, right? Let's speak about again, if you're trying to be a day trader, right? Somebody who's trying to get into trades and out of trades towards the end of the day before the markets close, right? You're trying to catch the overall move for the day. It is possible, but you have to be able to see market structure, right? You have to be able to see market structure. If price would have given us, if market structure would have given us a clean break of structure of these highs, and then it would have given us this pullback, this would 100% been the trade to take to hold until TP. Understanding that price is still testing these highs, this is not a break of structure. Once again, we'll pull up the screenshot, right? This is not a break of structure, right? This green line, right, which is this line here, this 30-minute line, is it still touching the candle that closed above the lines? Yes, above the BOS. This is still a testing candle. It's not a break of structure. If we would have had a break of structure, this pair would have already been going to take profit. The fact that price is still testing these highs, is still doing this type of movement, we already know that price is not ready to move yet. So being able to see the difference between a testing candle and a real break of structure, that's the key in trading when you're looking, again, as a day trader, as somebody who's trying to catch the move for the day. Now, again, there's 100 other things we could look at. Again, the 372 in a zone or in a range or in a trend, right? The higher time frame confluence, the lower time frame confluence, the EMAs, the engulfing candles, right? Internal time frame. We're looking at candlestick analysis. There's so much in the market that you have to learn, right? In order to trade as a day trader, as somebody who's being an intraday trader, right? Somebody who's trying to hold. I'm not talking about scalping. Swing trading is also the same way, right? Because depending on where you're entering in that swing trade, whether you're entering on a daily high, daily low, or 4 hour high, 4 hour low, compared to if you're entering a swing trade in a 30-minute time frame, yes, we could see that GU is going to push up. But if you entered a long going here, you have to understand that your stop loss can't be here as a swing trader. You're going to get hit out. Your stop loss is going to have to either be below this zone here or this zone, right? And you're putting yourself at a 23 pip disadvantage. You're putting yourself at a 47 pip disadvantage where you could take a swing trade, right? You could take a swing trade, but understand that your lot size is going to have to be way lower to compensate a 47 pip stop loss. Because if you're trading $1, that's already 470 bucks that you're in stop loss, right? If you're trading $10, it's 4,700. And I know 100% of you guys cannot trade, not even trade with a $10 lot, but I know 100% of you can't look at a $4,700 drawdown. So you got to be very, 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 we're not going to say picky, but again, understanding the reasons why these trades and these entries do not make sense yet. We have to wait for that confirmation. Again, the same thing that we talked about with USD CAD last week going into this week, right? If you took any of these trades on USD CAD at the end of last week, right? Thursday, Friday, your stop loss was hit twice. Your stop loss was hit on Friday and your stop loss was hit today. But now if you wait for the confirmation in the 4 hour time frame, you're good. We know that we're still either waiting for a break of the lows or the break of the highs to then continue to push to the top side. Same thing that we're looking at right now for US 30. If you got into any of these US 30 trades early on buying, what we were talking about this morning, your stop loss was already hit. Understanding that we were waiting for a 4 hour confirmation, this is why we were able to stay away from these trades, right? So very similar to GU, the reason why we were able to stay away from these trades, right, and not allow price to hit our stop loss or go back to break even is because we understood that these entries earlier today, right, at 5:30, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., is way too early of a trade, way too early of an entry. So again, we'll wait for the confirmation. Year was good, evasive. How do I? There you go. Year. Chillin'. I forget you worked today. The what? Yeah, I saw. Mm-hmm. Was it with you that I was going over EJ? No, right? I don't remember who I was talking to about EJ on Thursday or Friday. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We could go back to the, let's go to my cord. Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I see the screen. But give me 1 second real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on. Before you do the breakdown real quick. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. My bad.
But yeah, so these are the current state of the yen pairs. So looking like it's just about to break out the 4 hour. Yeah, I do like that. Got matter of fact, it's yeah, this is the position I'm in. I guess.
Mhm.
But yeah, as soon as the copy paste trader was active, bro, I set up the fucking block so quick. I was like, all right, everything was done. I'm like, okay, bet. There's this is definitely the zone where it's like it's gonna probably be best mode, but I'm focused on the outlook. So just being at the point that they're at, like prices shouldn't be in the zone in terms of the overall outlook. So I'm just waiting for that. It may roll over Asian Monday tomorrow as they start off, but they're more so my swing position. Same thing with the Euro US. Like I was mainly looking at the when I was taking the like right